I spent the past decade working with top traders at hedge funds, top performers at banks, and examining how they think about things like taking risks, how they think about managing risk, how they think about identifying an edge, how they think about setting goals, and how that's helped them become extremely successful in the financial industry. And as I dug deeper, I started to realize, well, this same information, the same process that they employ could be used for anything else in life. It could help a person learn how to set better goals for their personal lives, for their fitness lives, for New Year's resolutions. It could help entrepreneurs think about how to decide whether they should invest in one part of their business or hire employees to help with other parts of their business. The way my training clients would think about how they compartmentalize fears, I thought to myself, well, if I could take that same concept and help someone understand who's in a job, a dead-end job, and they want to go and start some other line of work and follow their passion, if I could teach them how to compartmentalize their fear so they could actually dare to be great, move themselves to the next level in life, and then live more fulfilled lives, more compelling existences, then that's information that should be shared. So the concept of the book, 8 Ways to Great, was born out of that simple notion where I was taking my career, my occupation as an investment psychology advisor to the top performers on Wall Street in banks and hedge funds. And instead of thinking about how to justify their existence, what I wanted people to understand was that these individuals think very uniquely about how they do what they do, and you can think that way too, to improve your life and your business and your decision-making process. The target audience for the book would be entrepreneurs or small business owners. It could also reach a little further into parents or making decisions in your life about whether you should actually sell your house in this kind of a market and economy or hold on to it. Oftentimes you see people making very, very bad decisions when it comes to money because they get emotional about the situation. The basic flavor of some of the techniques that I outline in the book, the first one has to do with identifying your why, meaning your purpose, your core passion, your core motivation. And every time I work with someone, the first question I ask them is, why have you chosen this career path? Because it is a choice you've made. And looking at the reasons behind that, you end up identifying for yourself if it's for a passionate reason, or if you're just doing it because you didn't know what else to do, or maybe you have no reason why you've chosen that line of career in the first place. Other things that I examine in the book are self-awareness. I think it's a critical component to success. You have to understand how you're hardwired. See, the human personality stays pretty stable throughout our lives. It really doesn't change from the time we're a child up through adulthood. And so it's important to understand that I don't believe that there's any specific, unique personality that is hardwired for success. What I do believe is that we all have personality variables, we all have nuances in our behaviors, and then it's a matter of finding a line of work or an occupation that fits our personality so that we're feeling like we're doing something that's very natural in our process and not fighting ourselves day in and day out. So some of the exercises I have in the book actually help you identify your core personality, how you're hardwired as a human being. And then you look at how that actually helps you and hurts you in life. The concept of fear comes up as really the number one reason why entrepreneurs fail to make progress, or why small businesses end up to make it to the next level, or why people end up making bad decisions. It's because they're afraid or have this overwhelming experience of fear. What I like to tell my clients and what I've learned over the years is that experiencing fear is not a problem. You're human. When you experience fear, it's a very normal emotion. What differentiates people from mediocrity to greatness and greatness to excellent high levels of performance is how they are able to compartmentalize those fears. They're aware of the fears, but they don't make decisions based out of those fears. They don't let fear direct the way they choose to behave. What traders realize, what top performing people in the financial industry realize, is that decision making has to do with not only the probability of success, but the outcome, the payout that's associated with it. So what I find is most people get caught up in just thinking about the probabilities. They like to win. We don't like to lose. We don't like to play games where we think we have a greater chance of losing than winning. But looking at it as a formula, looking at something objectively, you have to say to yourself, when I win, how much do I make? And when I lose, how much do I lose? And when I looked at the data behind successful traders, what I found out was that the average winning percentage for traders is between 45 and 55%. Let's think about that for a second. That means that these people, and they're smart people, highly educated, doing hard work, professionals, are right only about half the time. And then I thought to myself, well, that couldn't be possible. I mean, the guys that make substantial livings have to be right more than half the time, right? That's the only way they could do it. And what I found out actually was that the data showed that they were right actually less than half the time. That was remarkable. So when I looked even deeper to find out why that was the case, what I found out was it wasn't about how many times they were right or wrong. It was actually much more about how much did they make when they were right versus how much did they lose when they were wrong. And what made them exceptional was their ability to manage the risk, meaning recognize when they were wrong very quickly and then cut the losses very quickly. So they were able to not destroy their profits based on irresponsible decision making.